Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Liverpool monitoring Rodrygo and willing to negotiate Luis Diaz sale. Liverpool are closely monitoring Real Madrid attacker Rodrygo, with Luis Diaz's Reds exit potentially edging closer. According to Sky Germany's Florian Plettenberg on X, Rodrygo remains one of the candidates to replace Diaz at Anfield this summer, with Madrid open to selling him. The Brazilian's €10 million per year, £8.6 million. Wages will make him a very expensive option, and this update is contrary to this as Anfield's information that there are no plans for Liverpool to sign him. So, we're taking this one with a pinch of salt for now. Meanwhile, Diaz's move to Bayern Munich is progressing, with Sport Bild reporting that they and Liverpool are optimistic that an agreement can be reached, with the Reds willing to negotiate, having already had a £59 million bid rejected for the 28-year-old. Bayern are willing to go as high as £65 million. Signing Rodrygo and Diaz getting his wish to leave could be the ideal outcome for Liverpool, with the Madrid superstar arguably an upgrade. Hugo Ekitike has arrived in London to begin his medical ahead of a proposed £79 million move to Liverpool. It's getting closer. Liverpool legend Joey Jones has sadly passed away at the age of 70. We send all our best wishes to his friends and family. The Reds remain the favourites to sign Crystal Palace captain Mark Guéhi this summer. An upgrade on Jarell Quansah? Federico Chiesa has been linked with 6 different clubs after his omission from Liverpool's pre-season squad in Asia. A return to Italy could be on the cards. Liverpool reportedly remain on standby for Lyon winger Malik Fofana and could move for him as an immediate replacement for Chiesa. Sasha Tavalieri. This is Anfield's Henry Jackson has written about the comparisons between Ekitike and Alexander Isak, with the pair far more than just goal scorers. It is easy to see why Liverpool have prioritized Ekitike and Isak this summer, with the pair similar in terms of style. Both are wiry footballers with pace to burn, giving them an ability to run in behind. Ekitike is just 1 centimeter shorter than 6 feet 2 inches. Isak. They are far more than just goal scorers, though, dropping deep and having the ability to dribble dangerously in tight areas. The Frenchman averaged 1.6 dribbles per game in the league last season, while Isak averaged 1.2. By comparison, Nunez's tally was just 0.3. The Newcastle manager Eddie Howe admits he would be very silly to guarantee that Isak stays put this summer. Just imagine if the Reds signed him too. Arsenal are said to be on the verge of reaching a total agreement with Sporting CP for striker Victor Gyökeres, in a deal worth at least £63.7 million. David Ornstein, The Athletic. Man United have completed the signing of Brentford winger Brian Bumo, with the Cameroonian joining for around £71 million. They might be top half next season now. Sunderland are reportedly set to sign Bayer Leverkusen midfielder Granit Xhaka. Good business from the Premier League newcomers. Ornstein, The Athletic. On this day in 2020, Liverpool lifted the Premier League trophy at an empty Anfield, their first league title win in 30 years. It felt special at the time, despite the strange circumstances of Jordan Henderson's trophy lift in front of no fans. But let's face it, it was a lot better this year. Also on this day in 2016, Liverpool completed the signing of Gini Wijnaldum from Newcastle, with the Dutchman arriving for £23 million. Often an unsung figure, he combined industry and intelligence brilliantly, winning the Premier League and Champions League with Liverpool. Wijnaldum's double against Barcelona in 2019 was his greatest night for the Reds, and he eventually left for Paris Saint-Germain in 2021, having made 237 appearances. Sunderland are reportedly set to sign Bayer Leverkusen midfielder Granit Xhaka. Good business from the Premier League newcomers. Ornstein, The Athletic. On this day in 2020, Liverpool lifted the Premier League trophy at an empty Anfield, their first league title win in 30 years. It felt special at the time, despite the strange circumstances of Jordan Henderson's trophy lift in front of no fans. But let's face it, it was a lot better this year. Also on this day in 2016, Liverpool completed the signing of Gini Wijnaldum from Newcastle, with the Dutchman arriving for £23 million. Often an unsung figure, he combined industry and intelligence brilliantly, winning the Premier League and Champions League with Liverpool. Wijnaldum's double against Barcelona in 2019 was his greatest night for the Reds, and he eventually left for Paris Saint-Germain in 2021, having made 237 appearances. Sunderland are reportedly set to sign Bayer Leverkusen midfielder Granit Xhaka. Good business from the Premier League newcomers. Ornstein, The Athletic. On this day in 2020, Liverpool lifted the Premier League trophy at an empty Anfield, their first league title win in 30 years. It felt special at the time, despite the strange circumstances of Jordan Henderson's trophy lift in front of no fans. But let's face it, it was a lot better this year. Also on this day in 2016, Liverpool completed the signing of Gini Wijnaldum from Newcastle, with the Dutchman arriving for £23 million. Often an unsung figure, he combined industry and intelligence brilliantly, winning the Premier League and Champions League with Liverpool. Wijnaldum's double against Barcelona in 2019 was his greatest night for the Reds, and he eventually left for Paris Saint-Germain in 2021, having made 237 appearances. Wirtz's position, centre-backs, and 3 more questions this preseason. As Liverpool prepare for their 3rd and 4th games of preseason, there are plenty of questions fans have been asking that Arne Slot should answer with his actions. As with any group of friendly matches, the results should be taken with a pinch of salt. However, we may be able to begin gleaming information on how Liverpool will line up this season. While the main aim of the fixtures against AC Milan and Yokohama FM is to build the players' fitness, Slot will also be looking to instill his tweaked tactical approach and integrate the new signings. Here are 5 questions we hope Slot answers on Liverpool's preseason tour. We can't say this will be the very first time we will have seen Florian Wirtz play, as many of you will have viewed clips of him nonchalantly linking play in the behind-closed-doors friendly against Stoke. However, this will be the first time we watch him live as a Liverpool player. It will be interesting to see in which role Slot deploys him, after he played in a fairly free attacking midfield role against Stoke. This would differ hugely from the more disciplined role of the Reds' most advanced midfielder last year. The German signing is an indication of Liverpool changing their approach to chance creation, and preseason is the first opportunity to see how this will look. ASMO Sulla leaves for the Africa Cup of Nations in December. This could be one option to help cope with the Egyptians' absence. Liverpool's move for Jeremy Frimpong initially came as a surprise for some who, having seen him play as a right wing-back in Bayer Leverkusen's back 5, questioned why Slot would want him for a back 4. However, upon further inspection after 2 preseason outings, his versatility is clearly an attribute of which the Reds wanted to take advantage. With Trent Alexander-Arnold out the door, Connor Bradley and Frimpong are now Slot's 2 right-back options. Intriguingly, against Stoke, both players featured together in the second half, Frimpong occupying a more advanced role on the right as Bradley often took up positions further infield, something Slot's fullbacks at Feyenoord tended to do. The obvious answer to this is that they won't. Instead, they should sign a defender before the window shuts. However, on the tour, they have just 3 centre-backs in Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate and Joe Gomez. Therefore, they will have to mend and make do. In the first 2 games of preseason, we have seen Andy Robertson, Kostas Tsimikas, and young Lucas Stevenson all fill in, but these won't be seen as long-term options. It is worth noting, though, that players are often played out of position in these friendlies just to give them game time, not necessarily indicating where they will feature in the season ahead. Wataru Endo also travels and could play a part when needed, as could Ryan Gravenberch, who could find himself dropping deep plenty this season as Liverpool changed their build-up style. Injury kept Alexis Mac Allister from playing in Liverpool's final 2 games of last season, and that problem appears to have persisted over the summer. Due to the issue, the Argentine was not called up for his nation's internationals, and he hasn't featured in either of the Reds' preseason friendlies so far. However, it is a positive sign that he was brought on the tour despite missing some of the squad's training sessions on Merseyside. Hopefully, we see a return to action for the 26-year-old who hasn't started a match since April 27th, when Liverpool beat Tottenham 5-1 to secure the Premier League title. With an initial fee of £69 million agreed with Eintracht Frankfurt, Hugo Ekitike is set to fly to Merseyside on Tuesday for his medical, before joining up with the team in Asia. Given Liverpool don't play their games until July 26th and July 30th, there is every chance we could see Ekatike involved as slot attempts to integrate him quickly. If he does play, he won't be wearing Liverpool's new kit, however. The new Adidas strip won't be launched until the beginning of August. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.